One thing you may not know about me is that I have an older brother who happens to be on the autism spectrum. So autism has a special role in my life. It's the reason I chose to major in psychology, and it's responsible for my career choices. I wanted to understand why my brother is the way he is, and during undergrad I came across two books, Asperger Syndrome by Tony Attwood and Look Me in the Eye by John Elder Robison. One was written from the perspective of a clinical psychologist, and the other from someone with Asperger's, which is a milder form of autism. I found the topic so interesting that I took a psychology course on it. I spent the entire semester exploring the myths and misconceptions of autism. For example, did you know that vaccines don't cause autism? This fact has been verified time and again by numerous studies, and yet there are still people that refuse to vaccinate their children because of this myth. The healthcare triage does a fantastic job of explaining why vaccines don't cause autism. I'll link to their video down below. Another myth is that autistic people aren't capable of having emotion or rational thoughts. Wow, that's offensive. Just because a person doesn't express his feelings in a conventional manner doesn't mean that the emotions aren't there, inside. My brother is more in tune with his emotions than any other person I know. He and other autistic people can think and feel, and they find it hurtful when others disregard this fact. Another myth is that an autistic individual can't take the perspective of another person. I find this the most ironic and heartbreaking of the myths. How can you possibly direct public policy, conduct research, and make informed opinions on autism if you don't consider the perspective of the people actually living it? It's disheartening to hear people talk so negatively about autism, especially those that haven't taken the time to listen to someone who's actually autistic. My views on autism didn't change overnight. Until I had taken that psychology course, I was still of the mindset that autism was a disorder characterized by certain deficits, and that these afflicted people needed my pity. Consider the words I just used. Disorder, deficits, afflicted, pity. They all paint a picture of a broken person, and these words are often used by non-autistics when talking about autism. But the autistic people I know don't consider their autism an affliction. In fact, they consider autism to be responsible for their strengths. Being detail-oriented, hyper or hyposensitive to certain stimuli, or being able to process the world differently can be considered a benefit. The autistic community recognizes the positives of autism, while those outside of it tend to focus on the negatives. It took me months to understand autism from an autistic perspective. I read countless books, essays, and blogs written by autistic people. I went online and I explored their discussion forums. I watched numerous documentaries of autistics telling their stories. I even spent a year in autism research, where the research was framed using a neurodiversity approach. Neurodiversity is the concept that neurological differences, including autism, are a variation of the human condition, not diseases that need to be cured. During my time in autism research, I saw firsthand what acceptance of autism looked like. I saw how making the effort to understand and embrace your child's neurological differences leads to your child feeling empowered, as well as a healthier relationship with your child. It is with this mindset that I wrote the story for that Project for Awesome video that Greg and I made back in December. I wanted others to understand autism the way I do, and so I wrote the script from an autistic's perspective, inspired by real-life stories that I came across in my research. The video got such a great reception from those in and outside the autistic community that several weeks ago I was approached by the Autistic Self-Advocacy Network to make a couple of videos for them. The videos would be for Autism Acceptance Month, a campaign held every April in which the autistic community shares true facts and stories about autism. It also combats the myths and misconceptions spread by Autism Speaks, which, despite the name, does not actually speak for autistic people. I wanted to give ASAN the best quality videos possible, and so I asked Greg and Leah to collaborate with me on this project. I wrote the script and created storyboards. Greg spent 3 weeks designing the images, and Leah spent another 3 weeks animating them. I'm incredibly proud of the work we've done, and I believe that the videos send a powerful message. As of this filming, the videos are not yet live on ASAN's YouTube channel. They will be over the next couple weeks though, so I'll put links in the description as they roll out. Actually, Leah and Greg, it's probably not a bad idea to link to them in your upcoming vlogs. I want to take this opportunity to thank our friends at ASAN for giving us this opportunity to do a really fun video collaboration for an important cause. If you want to learn about autism from the real experts, you can go to autisticadvocacy.org or autismacceptance.com. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. For those who care, this is what my shirt says.